Let me ask you about smoke-free. I want to move over to that because that's obviously a very present issue at the session.
Yep.
I went and looked online last night. I think it's House Bill 670 is the big smoke-free bill. It looks to have quite a lot of support, bipartisan support.
More than ever, yeah.
Bipartisan support. And I know that the number that's quoted often is $404 million of impact over a biennium in terms of healthcare costs and wages that would be lost otherwise. That this actually does have, they can tie real savings and a real injection of economic benefit to the passage of this. I went online to look for the opposite.
And the effect it has on local business.
And the effect it has on business.
Yeah, because it's
I want to come to the positive effects in a second, but I went online trying to find the negative case for smoke-free.
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of time online looking, and except for a few pictures of Hitler with a cigarette, accusing you all of being smoke Nazis.
Is that why Hitler was trending on Twitter yesterday?
That may. He often trend. Well, Hitler was his birthday yesterday. You know
see, no, I did not know that.
I will simply say I did know that.
It was trending. I'm like, why is Adolf Hitler trending today?
That's why.
Because it was his birthday.
It wasn't about smoke-free then. But truly, if you go look for the opposition to smoke-free, what you find are lots of pictures of Hitler with cigarettes accusing you all of being smoke Nazis. But I can't find the substantive case against it. And I really want to know what it may be, but I'm not finding a lot of it, which gives me sense that maybe this is likely to pass.
You were on the wrong website.
I was?
You should have been on the Altria website.
Is it largely the cigarette companies? They don't even seem to be putting up too much of a fight, actually, at least not easily found on the internet.
Yeah, they're smart. They're very smart, and they have deep pockets.
What is their argument, as best you can say it with a straight face?
Well, we can use both of them. I'm not quite sure what their argument here in Texas would be that it's people's rights. It should be their rights to choose if they smoke or not smoke, and they smoke whenever they want, inside, outside, around people that are working, around children. They'll say that you shouldn't step on our rights.
Mm-hmm. Are you not sympathetic to that? I mean, you're someone who's felt maybe not treated as fairly by the government over time as you might have been, and people will say, look, the government shouldn't be in my business, government shouldn't be telling me where I can smoke and where I can't smoke.
And I agree. But when you are jeopardizing the lives and the health of other people around you, you then lose your rights. It's like saying, well, there's a school zone, okay, it's 20 miles an hour, but I'm late, I want to drive 50, and I want to be on my phone. It's my right, I can do whatever I want. Right. No, you can't. Yeah. There's a speed zone there in the school zone, and it's 20 because we're trying to protect our children that are walking to and from school. Yeah. So, I mean, that's the same argument. You can't make that argument. You'll never win that one. Yeah. And so I think we're safe there. Then obviously in California they'll say that they'll push the no tax campaign or the anti-tax campaign.
But let's come to California in a second. I want to stay in Texas because there's no effort being made to increase taxes in order to pay for a smoke-free workplace. No. So the issue is disengaged from the tax question, at least here. Yeah. Here it's simply, do we think this is a good idea or not a good idea? And again, it looks like quite a lot of people in the legislature, both parties seem to be supporting it.
Of course.
And so you're hopeful at this point of it passing.
Evan, it's not an issue of is this a good idea or not. It's not an issue of if this will ever pass, because it will pass. It's only a question of when.
Right.
And so this is the most momentum we've had. We've tried a few times, and obviously they've been trying for quite some time. We've been involved the last few attempts. This is the best chance we have so far.
And what is precisely at issue here is indoor workplace smoking ban.
Yeah.
Limited to workplace.
Yeah, and look at the places around the world that are smoke-free, okay? Dublin, Ireland, Paris, France, all of Germany. I mean, Paris, France, really smoke-free? I mean, if anybody's been to Paris and been to a bistro or a bar, I mean, everybody's smoking. And so if they can do it, then why the hell can't we do it?
Yeah. Well, you alluded to the question of how this affects business. I'm sure you're sympathetic to the fact that a lot of businesses say, wait a minute, if you impose this ban on Texas, then we're going to lose our business and our businesses.
If it's statewide, I totally disagree. We campaigned for this in Wisconsin a few years ago, and people made the argument that there were certain cities or counties that were smoke-free and certain ones that weren't. So if they were literally across the street, I mean, obviously all the smokers would walk across the street to the, across the county line or the city line where they could smoke or hang out in that particular bar. That would affect, but if everybody is consistent and has the same rules, it's absolutely beneficial. Those numbers are out there. It's very hard to debate the economic impact. People want, the majority of people don't smoke. And not to not, I mean, if somebody chooses to smoke, that doesn't mean that they're Adolf Hitler. That doesn't mean they're a bad person. That means they're addicted to cigarettes. Yeah. Oh, that's okay. It's unfortunate, but doesn't mean you're a bad person.
But it doesn't surprise you. I mean, when there was a discussion of a smoking ban in clubs here in Austin, you know, the club owners all just rose up in arms over this. You're just impacting our ability to do business, to make money. It's not fair.
And I think now, if you look back on it, they'll tell you that it was good for their business.
And there's a greater good argument to be made, but there's also ultimately it ended up not affecting their businesses the way that they thought.
I don't see a lot of negative points there.
Is there any? I'm going to sound like you're a state legislator. Is there a fiscal note attached to this? Is there any cost associated with the implementation of this, whatever the benefits are?
Dave Lofi? Where's Dave Lofi?
There's probably somebody here who could answer, but you don't know whether there are costs associated with this. And if there were costs associated with the implementation of it, you would still make the argument that it's worth spending the money now because the benefit later is
absolutely
is greater.